faculty left double angle bracket faculty of food technology right double angle bracket department left double angle bracket technology of food products right double angle bracket discipline left double angle brackets sanitation and hygiene in livestock facilities right double angle bracket lecture 9 left double angle bracket heat balance in stables right double angle bracket Есенқұлова Ж Ж Cand. Of Agricultural Science, ASOC. Prof. Lecture Plan 1. What should be the temperature in the stable and how to ensure it? 2. Calculation of the heat balance in livestock premises. Today it is very fashionable to engage in horse riding, which gives its riders a lot of pleasure and involves all muscle groups. In order for a horse to be healthy and active, it needs full-fledged care, high-quality feed and a stable with proper ventilation. A stable is a different habitat than an apartment or a house. Horses secrete a large amount of moisture through breathing, sweating and other physiological processes of the body. In stables with a poor ventilation system, there is a high probability of diseases of the respiratory organs of the horse, and it is also harmful for a person to be in such an environment. For high-quality air exchange, supply, and exhaust ventilation is used in stables today, providing oxygen inflow and outflow of spent air. When calculating ventilation in stables, it is necessary to take into account stable volume number of horses location of the room. Calculation of the heat balance in livestock premises. The thermal balance of livestock premises is calculated in order to determine the possibility of providing them with an optimal microclimate, especially in the cold season. When calculating the heat balance, the type of animals, live weight, productivity, physiological state, age are taken into account. The thermal balance in the room can be positive, negative, 0. Positive, when more heat is released than is consumed. Negative, less is allocated than it is consumed. 0. The arrival is equal to the expense. The thermal balance of the premises is calculated: U equals T, G x 0. 24 plus equals kx f plus ed, where Qj is the heat input from animals kilocalories per hour, T is the difference between the indoor air temperature and the average monthly air temperature of the coldest month of the zone, G the amount of air removed from the room or entering it within an hour, kilograms. the most important factor in the formation of conditions for the maintenance of a particular group of animals are the peculiarities of their exploitation. For example, it is quite obvious that the content of horses of the walking, that is, working, direction of use, simply must be different from the content of the fast-moving ones. If animals are operated for a long time, from 5 to 10 hours a day, under conditions of direct environmental impact, in the wind, rain, snow, etc., then the conditions of the maintenance in the stable should be almost Spartan. Otherwise, there is a danger of pampering the body and exposing it to increased danger from the aggression of the external environment. This principle fully applies to the order of maintenance of sports horses. It is also necessary to consider the following. Not just a horse, but a sports horse gives a huge amount of energy during training. The body temperature of the horse at rest is 37.8 to 38.2 degrees. During active work, it rises, according to Vnayak, to almost 42 degrees. If the coat of such a horse is dense and thick, then the heat exchange of its body with the air of the external environment will be very difficult, and overheating is possible, which in turn can cause irreparable disorders in the body, and as a consequence a decrease in efficiency and, possibly, severe diseases. Well-chosen conditions of maintenance help to maintain an optimal coat and, accordingly, ensure maximum performance of a sports horse. There is no doubt that the temperature regime in the stable is one of the main hygienic requirements. It should not only ensure the optimal coat of the animal, but also guarantee its rehabilitation, recovery of the body, after exertion. It is known that lactic acid produced in the muscles during the training process is much slower to break down at low temperatures, due to a decrease in the rate of metabolic processes. Moreover, it can accumulate and lead to myositis, and subsequently to myopathosis, the causes of many types of lameness, including incurable. Often sports horses return to the stable after training very sweaty, wet, and if the temperature regime of the sports stable cannot ensure normal drying, then the animal is at increased risk of respiratory diseases. So what should be the temperature in the stable and how to ensure it? Each stable owner should analyze the nature of the use of horses kept under his patronage, and, accordingly, determine the optimal temperature regime himself. And if the internal room temperature of 4 to 8 degrees is the norm for working horses, then it is simply unacceptable for sports horses. One of the most important ways to maintain the selected temperature regime in the livestock room is ventilation. I repeat, ventilation, not airing. In the rules of zoo hygiene, there are strict norms for the speed of air movement in the stable. The speed of air movement exceeding the permissible norm is called a draft. I think there is no need to explain why drafts are dangerous. The most dangerous from the point of view of the likelihood of respiratory diseases caused by forced ventilation are the daily temperature changes in the stable premises that are not provided with proper supply and exhaust ventilation, and the corresponding cubic capacity, volume, often seen with a daily drop of more than 15 degrees, from 22 degrees at night to 4 to 6 degrees during the day. Thus, there is overheating of the animal body at night indoors, sudden cooling during the day, and hypothermia in the evening, due to prolonged ventilation during the day. It is these changes that cause a sharp decrease in the protective functions of the body, which means that they contribute to the occurrence of respiratory diseases caused by bacterial or viral infections. The ways to solve the problems of organizing a rational microclimate that ensures the health of animals and increases their efficiency are: 1. Determination of the correct life volume of the stable. 2. Calculation of supply and exhaust ventilation, strictly ensuring the speed of air movement that does not exceed the norms of zoo hygiene. Rational solutions can be unexpectedly simple. For example, it is enough to build a vestibule, disassemble, even partially, ceilings in the stable, and organize several supply ventilation channels that do not cause drafts, and the microclimate in the stable becomes almost ideal. There is an opinion that relatively low temperature conditions in stables contribute to a decrease in the vital activity of the fungus Aspergillus, which is dangerous for the respiratory system of horses. Indeed, some horses suffer from allergies caused by this fungus and its waste products. But ventilation is not the only and, moreover, a little effective way to combat Aspergillus. Disinfection of rooms where animals are kept and feeding with high-quality hay are much more effective measures. Decide for yourself what is more important for you: to have a healthy, vigorous, efficient, active horse, or to mythically protect it from the aggression of the fungus. I would like to add that in horses with a strong, active immune system, the probability of fungal respiratory tract disease is almost zero. And to ensure the reliability of the immune system of horses, first of all, properly organized conditions of detention should be. The microclimate in the stable is calculated from the quantitative indicator of livestock, gas contamination of the room, heat transfer of the surface of the body of animals, etc., the necessary amount of air, oxygen for breathing, and clean air, to reduce the concentration of hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide, fully providing metabolic processes in the horse's body, and the constant temperature of the room itself, necessary for this group of animals. The microclimate at the sports stable should be calm. The air is clean and may be warm enough. Bibliography: Management and Welfare of Farmer Animals. U4 Animal Welfare Series. Wiley-Blackwell methods to analyze agricultural commodity price volatility, the production technology of functional food products from raw materials of plant and animal origin. Thank you for your attention. Consultations. Almaty, Reinbeck Ave. 348 Building 2,208.